Hello everybody, welcome to a Q&A video. Blimey, it has been a long time since one of these, but I mentioned in a recent update video that I saw fellow YouTuber HonestTom23 doing one of these and it inspired me. It spurred me on to steal his idea and do one of my own. So yes, it's something I used to do fairly regularly back in the day. Used to have sort of series of Q&As and then I just stopped doing them. Mainly because I then streamed a bit more, so that kind of became more of a interactive Q&A live, and so I didn't really kind of see the point of doing them on YouTube anymore. And also they kind of, to an extent, feel a little bit old-fashioned as far as like YouTube videos go, Q&As. However, that doesn't mean they're a bad thing. I think there's still a time and a place for them, and I think they're quite cozy feeling, aren't they, Q&As? At least hopefully this one will be. Let's get into it and just see, shall we? So yeah, I asked you all for some lovely questions, and boy, did you deliver. I got a ton of questions here. I've listed them all out. I got them in comments on YouTube. I got one on Twitter, X. I got a couple on my Discord. So yeah, thank you everyone. I wasn't sure whether people would actually submit any, but no, it's been lovely. So I've got them all in one nice place. I can reel through them, and I might have to reel through some because I don't want to be here for hours and hours rambling away, but I could be. You know what I'm like. I could do that. I've got a drink. I'm ready to go. I hope I don't lose my voice. I have had a quick read through them just so I could have a little pre-thought maybe, but for most of them, we're just going to go with it. Okay, so with that all said and done, let's get into it with question number 1. It is from Mr. Doles, and their question is, what is a series that you'd like to make a Let's Replay on? I'd like to see Futurama because of the new series on Hulu, could bring in the new views, and maybe fans can be vocal about a new game happening. Right, well, thank you for the question. Let's Replays. Yes, I've done a few of those in the past. Kind of games that I've maybe done very early on when I first started out on YouTube, and I was very rough around the edges, and the quality was bad, and the audio was bad, and it was all just bad. Didn't know what I was talking about. I was mumbling and yeah, all sorts. Well, I still mumble, but yeah. So I did that for, what did I do that for? Destroy Humans 2. I did that for the Simpsons Game. I kind of did that for Time Splitters Future Perfect, although I did that on Twitch. So yeah, what other ones would I like to do? Futurama is a very good suggestion. That is a very old Let's Play, like 10 years old now. Although, to be fair, I played that on Xbox 360, so it doesn't look that bad back then. And also, I don't think the commentary was too bad. But I do see what you mean about doing it with the new episodes of Futurama coming out now. And I've been watching them too, and I'm quite liking them. So I am in the Futurama mood, but I think my actual answer to this question, what would I realistically make a Let's Replay on? It probably would only have to be a point and click game. That's kind of where I'm at now with Let's Plays on YouTube. I just can't see myself doing Let's Plays of non-point and clicks. Maybe that's going to change at some point in the future, but right now I think I've found my little niche, my little area of YouTube, my expertise, my it's not really, I'm not an expert, but you know what I mean, my forte. And so I think, and also I think that it's still quite nice to have point and clicks as Let's Plays because a lot of them are about the story, and I think that is something where you can just watch it and still enjoy it. Yes, you might get frustrated at me failing at the puzzles, but you can always skip past that and then learn more about the story. So yeah, my actual answer to this would probably be Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, which is a Let's Play I did 12 years ago now. Yes, 12 years before doing Beneath a Still Sky, which is, I'm currently playing Beyond a Still Sky. That feels like a long time ago. Indiana Jones was even older than that. So I've said in the past that I wanted to revisit that game, mainly because it has 3 different branches of story, and I only did one of them during the playthrough. There's like a branching part where you can be like the action path, the stealth part. I don't even know what they are, but yeah. So there's a lot more that I could see of that game, and also, yeah, it is old. Doesn't look the best, I suppose, even though it's just a pixel art point-and-click game. Sound's probably really bad. Commentary is probably really bad. I do have a very vivid memory of that Let's Play, though, which is I was doing that. I was still living at home with my mum, and we had just signed up to get new internet. I think we were changing internet providers, and back then, man, changing internet was awful. Like, it was 2 weeks before you could get reconnected. Thankfully nowadays it's a bit quicker and a bit more seamless because of fiber and stuff like that. But back then with broadband, oh my god, it just took so long. So I was without internet for 2 weeks, but I still wanted to keep on recording. So I'd record these videos, I'd edit them all offline. Obviously I don't need the internet for that. And I remember going into my local library with my episode 10 of Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis on my thumb drive, and I stuck it in the computer. Oh, I booked a slot, stuck it in, and uploaded it at my local library. How's about that? I was anything but lazy when it came to YouTube back then. I was a dedicated Let's Player. Look at me now. Okay, so yeah, that would be my answer. Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, and it's also a very good game. It deserves to be replayed, I think. I forgot so much about it. It would be quite nice to revisit, I think. But yeah, thank you for the question. Next up is Bandit Dean. Their question is, favourite Nayxerr kill in a UHC? Oh, of course, Dean is here with the ultra hardcore questions. Would I have expected anything else? Great question. Great question. Very difficult question. UHC ultra hardcore is our Minecraft PvP event that we do on the JFS server. Or we did our last one for the foreseeable future fairly recently with our season 40. What would be, that's like asking me what my favourite child would be if I had multiple children. The answer would be none, because I don't like children. But no, the point is, that's a very difficult question. I think, to keep it simple, and because my memory is absolutely disastrous, I'm going to go with my most recent kill on Nayxerr, which I think was UHC 36. I've left a gap there so I can put in the number afterwards because I can't remember. Where, yeah, he came in and I was like, Red Star had died. I was just swinging away. But somehow, because of my expert timing with the sword and jumping and crits, I killed him. I mean, he did kill me. But it was 1v1 against Nayxerr, and I think I held my own pretty well. So I'm going to go with that one. And I just like my shock at actually doing it. Oh my god, I killed Nayxerr. So yeah, that's that one. UHC 36, that one. Thank you, Dean, for the question. Next up, we have a question from Leilolana. I like that name. Would you play Broken Sword Reforged? So that is the remake of Broken Sword, the original Broken Sword 1. That Revolution games are, I think it's actually coming out very, very, very soon. Maybe even in a couple of weeks' time, or maybe it's already been out since I've recorded this. But I don't think I would play that again, to be honest. I would happily rewatch it because I would be very keen to see how they've updated it. The new art, the new animations. I assume they've done something with, because I played the director's cut when I Let's Played it, and although it was good, it definitely added in some weird puzzles, and I think you could definitely tell the old bits from the new bits, because they added in bits with Nico, and mainly with the audio quality. I'm hoping that they managed to somehow, I don't know, AI fix George Stobart's audio and dialogue, because it was so bad. It was so bad to go from brand new, crisp, clean to 1990s audio. So yeah, I'd be interested on seeing what they've done with it, but I probably wouldn't play it again because, I don't know, it hasn't been that long since I last played it, and I've still got to play Broken Sword 5 anyway. So yeah, I've got a bit of a backlog still. Yeah, thank you for the question. Let's move on to the next one from Baxter Bunny. What's your favourite Happy Tree Friends episode? Now, I have to say, this question made me smile because it's kind of random. I don't know if I've really ever mentioned Happy Tree Friends on this channel. Maybe I have. So I was a little bit kind of surprised by that. But also, it's just reminded me of being back in school. Like, Happy Tree Friends was this this web animation cartoon series. Was it made with, I don't know what it was made with. It kind of had that flash animation look to it, but it was really, really violent and graphic. And I remember a couple of peers in school being like, "Hey, look at this, look at this," and like they found this website that they could watch it on. And meanwhile, I was there playing games on Miniclip, like the Stickman games or whatever, and then they're watching that. And yeah, it really took me back to being in my old school IT classroom. Unfortunately, I don't have an answer for this question because I can't remember any of them. I really can't. The one where there was loads of blood and guts. How about that? Does that narrow it down? Probably not. Anyway, thank you, Baxter Bunny. The next one is from Gamer since 1988. And their question is, will you be Let's Playing the next Spy Fox game? Or will you stream it on your other channel? Spy Fox, that's another one that's kind of hasn't come completely out of the blue, because I have played, was it something cereal, the dry cereal, over on Twitch, but that was probably 2-3 years ago now. Am I going to play any more of them? In all honesty, probably not anytime soon. I actually have a lot more of them. I think I bought a bundle on Steam. So I think I've got the Spy Fox, I think I've got the Captain Pajamas, is that his name? Captain Pajamas, there was another one as well. The name escapes me now. But yeah, so I could play more. And maybe someday if I ever go back to streaming more regularly, I will. But I'll be honest with you, the answer's probably not. It wasn't a bad game by any means. Probably not good enough for me to make a full-blown Let's Play. Because, I mean, let's be honest, it is still a kid's game. And I don't have that nostalgia to it that I think a lot of other people might have. Particularly Americans, I think. I don't have that, so it didn't really mean that much to me playing it. But it was still kind of fun and weird. But yeah, probably not. Righty-ho, thank you, gamer since 1988. Is that true? Have you been a gamer since 1988? Nice. Next question is from Weathermaster. Oh, Weather. What's Weather got to say? I know I've recently asked you what your favourite movie was. I actually don't think I gave you an answer though, Weather. I think I was just like, I'll get back to you. And I still will. But he continues, so in that spirit, my question is, do you prefer newer IPs or the recent trend of remakes and sequels/prequels? It's definitely an interesting topic. I watched a video on the channel Red Letter Media a few weeks back, maybe even a couple months now, where they talked about this exact topic, about theatres, cinema theatres dying out, or the balance between what films are, the highest grossing films, how many of them are original ideas, new IPs, and how many of them are sequels and prequels and remakes. And yeah, they went into all that. And to be honest, on the face of it, I'm not an auteur. Is that the right word? I don't know. When it comes to film, I'm not snobby, right? I'm not like, oh, there's too many remakes, there's too many sequels. Because let's be honest, my favourite set of films is James Bond. And yeah, I mean, that they're not so much sequels, prequels, or remakes. Casino Royale kind of was, but it's not a new IP at this point, is it? James Bond. So I'm not really one to talk. That's the film I want most, is a new James Bond film. So I think realistically, it probably is remakes and sequels, prequels that I prefer. And even down to, I do think, like, what would get me back to the cinema? There was a stage at university where, and I've talked about this before, I signed up to do the university radio to host a film review show. And I did that with some other students, and it was great. I loved it. Really fun. It was kind of like, recording here on YouTube, but I was doing it with people, so that was good. But I did it as a way to force myself to go to the cinema, because I had to watch all these films that we wanted to review. And it worked for the 1 or 2, was it 1 or 2 years? I think it might have just been 1, maybe 2. It worked for that time. I went and saw a lot of films that I never would have seen otherwise. that fell off a cliff as soon as I stopped. Like, I thought maybe that would continue, and maybe I would have found my love of the cinema and of film. It did not. It did not happen. And sadly, nowadays, whenever I go to the cinema, more often than not, I get annoyed. I get annoyed either by the cinema, the price of it, it's a bad picture, or it's bad sound, or most likely of all, annoying people coughing, rustling, sneezing, burping, farting, smelling near me. God, I sound like such a miser. But it's true. And I do think, like, I would rather wait a few weeks and watch this at home on my nice TV, in my living room, on my sofa, with a beer, right? So it takes a lot to get me to the cinema now. And that would be maybe like, I don't know, some friends asking to go, and I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll go with you. Or probably the most likely thing is something that I would have a connection to already. So James Bond is the obvious one. But, recent example, I haven't gone to see it yet, but Alien Romulus. I would like to see that because I know that I like Alien and I like that series. Would I like to go see, I don't know, what's a relatively new IP that just came out? Blimey. Oppenheimer. I didn't even go see Oppenheimer in the end in the cinema. I know that's really bad. I saw Barbie, to be fair, but that's not really a new IP either. So yeah, I think it is. Sadly, is it sad? I don't know. It would be remakes, sequels, and prequels I would prefer. I wish I was more of a cinema goer and a film lover, that I would go and just, you know, I had one of those memberships where you could just go to the cinema as many times as you want, and I'd go and I'd see all these weird, quirky indie films, and then the big blockbusters, your Wolverines and Deadpools and Oppenheimers and all that. But I'm just not that sort of person. I'm not. If anything now, like, it's just YouTube. YouTube is my cinema and my TV, which I think is a question coming up, actually. So yeah, that was a ramble. But yeah, thank you for the question, Weather. That was an interesting one. I like that. Next up, Tommy Gilbert says, or asks, will you do more of the Simpsons Hit and Run? Yes. There was an episode that came out after the one that you commented on, so there you go. And there will be more in the future. There will always be more as long as there are mods to play. When I say mods to play, I don't just mean one that adds a custom car or changes some music. It needs to be a mod that is actually substantial enough to warrant a video. It's got some mission changes. It's got some new levels or new characters, stuff like that. But yeah, I will keep doing them because you guys like them. I'm not going to beat around the bush. They obviously get the most views on my channel currently, so there's definitely an audience for them. I'd be stupid not to keep doing them. And I still like playing the game. So yeah, for sure. Make some mods and I'll play them. You hear me, all of you out there listening? Please go make some mods for the Simpsons Hit and Run. I'm thinking about it again, but it's, God, it's tricky. Okay. Tommy also goes on to ask, any more Can I Beat? Ooh, Can I Beat? That was a series I did last year where I played some old game show video games and tried to see if I was good enough to beat any of them. And a couple I did, I think, but mostly no was the answer. They were either way too hard or I was way too dumb. Any more of them? Probably not. And I say that because it actually got pretty tricky to find games towards the end. You may think, Joe, there must be tons of video games based on like Wheel of Fortune and Family Feud and whatever. And like, yeah, there is, but like, do you really want to watch me play 5 different versions of Wheel of Fortune when they're all pretty much the same thing? Probably not, right? So by the end, I was trying to find games that are a bit weird or just not the same. Like The Price is Right. That was a funky one. But yeah, I just ran out, and I thought it kind of came to a natural end anyway after going on for a little while. So no more of those. But if I find a good one that I think would make for a funny video, I can always do it as a one-off video. It doesn't need to be part of a series. So yeah, watch this space. And if you've got any suggestions, then obviously let me know. Let me know and I can take a look. Thank you for the questions, Tommy. The next question is from Guanas97. And their question is, planning on doing any DS Let's Plays? Would be cool to see a Simpsons Game DS Let's Play, since that version has a few differences compared to the console versions. Love the content. Keep it up, Joe. Edit would love to see Minecraft. Good, thank you. So, planning on doing any DS Let's Plays? Well, I'm actually starting a Nuzlocke Pokemon run. No, not really. No, I think I have played that Simpsons Game DS version, and you're right. I'd say more than just a few differences. I think it's completely different, being a 2D platformer. And I have technically played that on the channel, although it was a live stream, and it was a live stream mixed in with a Simpsons quiz that I did with the audience. It's on my live tab, or if you just search for it, it should appear. And you know, in between the rounds of the Simpsons questions, I did play that DS game. I probably wouldn't go on make a Let's Play of it, because first of all, I'm kind of lazy and I don't like the idea of having to set up DS emulator and everything again. I'm just being honest. But also, I don't know, it kind of goes back to what I was saying before, like Let's Play wise, I'm probably only going to stick to point and clicks now. I don't think that is a game that I can now really do a whole series of. I think it would get boring, in all honesty, me doing that. I just don't have the right mindset for that sort of game to Let's Play anymore. Or not right now anyway. But if you are interested in seeing a Let's Play of that game on the DS, I do believe a certain Honest Tom 23 did make one a number of years back, so go and watch his. I'll put a card or something on screen. There's one there. How's about that? But yeah, thank you for the question, Garnes. Next up, we have a few questions from Dr. Pompadour. Hello, hello. So, first question. How do you watch content these days? I think they asked Tom this same question. And it's a very interesting question. How do you watch content? And I suppose that doesn't necessarily mean YouTube, but anything in general. And kind of like what I hinted at before, that mainly is YouTube for me. I don't watch TV. Well, when I say TV, I mean, for me in the UK, I mean like terrestrial TV. BBC, BBC One, BBC Two, ITV, Channel 4, Sky. I don't watch that. I don't watch live TV, which means I miss out on a lot of stuff that I probably would like to watch. I didn't really watch any of the Olympics in Paris. I didn't watch any of the most recent Wimbledon, which I quite like. There's a lot of stuff. Glastonbury, I didn't watch that. That was, you know, when it's live shown on BBC. Mainly because here in the UK, we have to pay a TV license for watching live TV and BBC. And I just refuse to pay it. I refuse to pay it. Mainly on principle now. If the TV licensing company didn't send such manipulative, predatory letters through my postbox, and honestly, you should see these letters. They are so ominous. You'll open it and it'll be like, "What are you doing with your TV, Joe? We know you've got it." And it's like, whoa, calm down. Calm down. Yes, I've got a TV. I do not watch live TV with it. So back off. But no, they keep sending me. I've sent off a letter. I've tried to tell them, but they don't listen. And then you hear these stories of people, people who work there, knocking on doors, up to old ladies, and like forcing them their way in, pretty much, and you know, signing them up, making sure they've got everything. I hate it. I hate it. That's why. Sorry, you've really got me on something now. I refuse to pay a TV license now because of that exact thing. I'll gladly miss out on that TV now. So instead, sorry. Wow, I think I think there was something there. Wow. So yeah, I don't really watch that, but I do watch a lot of YouTube, obviously, and I watch all the streaming platforms: Netflix, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime Video, yada yada yada. That kind of thing. I mean, everyone watches that, right? Everyone watches Disney Plus. I watch Simpsons and Futurama, and on Netflix, I'm just absolutely loving rewatching Monk at the moment. If anyone knows about Monk or doesn't know, Go watch it. It's such a great detective program. Honestly, complete comfort show. But let's go back to YouTube, because that's more interesting. And the way I've watched YouTube has definitely changed. Partially because of me, but also because I just think the content on YouTube has changed as well over time. It's been going a long time now, YouTube, and there is definite trends and peaks and dips and ebbs and flows. I'm just going to stop. So I would say back in the day, I would have watched multiple short videos. I think on a whole, videos were shorter previously. There was obviously the time constraint with YouTube a long time back, where you could only have videos of 15 minutes. But even later than that, I think people tried to keep things short. And as time has gone on, you could argue things like TikTok and YouTube Shorts has kept that shortness, but for most other things, it feels like long form content is the way that a lot of YouTube creators now move to. We're talking that could be from an hour video to the 10-hour video essays on plagiarism, or how a toaster works, or a deep dive into Star Trek Picard. I'm just thinking of a few that I remember. So yeah, and I think that the way you watch them is obviously different as well, because you're not going to watch a 3-hour video in one sitting unless you're crazy. I know some of you do. So you have this new way of digesting YouTube where, you know, you watch a little bit and then you step away and then you come back to it, and, you know, it remembers where you were, so you carry on for a bit, and you might watch a video over the course of a few days, especially when they've been split up into chapters anyway. And I'd definitely say that's what I've been doing. However, it hasn't really been those sort of YouTube essays that I've been watching. I have fallen victim to a very dangerous and sad section of YouTube. No offense to anyone that makes these types of videos or watches them with me, but travel videos. I have found myself, particularly cruise vlogs. I can't stop watching them. I've talked about going on cruises in the past and how much of a old man I am at heart, loving cruising. Yeah, and I just love watching people going on P&O and Royal Caribbean and Princess Cruises, and they are usually an hour or longer. So yeah, it's not really gaming videos anymore. Very, very little, in fact. I'd say the majority of video game videos I watch is Minecraft, either through people that I've always watched, like BOO, Ethos Lab, or people on the JFS, Red Star, Shorstin, Dennis. They're all Dean. They're making videos as well now. So yeah, very little gaming stuff, to be honest, which is kind of interesting, because it's like, well, I'm making video game videos, but I don't even watch them. So why do I think people would watch my stuff? I don't know. I have thought about that in the past. I'm not going to get into that now, though, because that's not the question. And one other thing about this is a very, very, very bad habit that I've picked up, and I need to not do it because I feel like it's rotting my brain, turning it into Gen Z mush. And that is, I've started kind of defaulting the playback speed of videos to at least 1.5. And I find that I can still consume it, I can still understand it, I can just watch more. But that's bad, isn't it? It's like, what? Is my attention span so short that I can't even watch a video at a normal speed? Sometimes I watch them on 2x speed. Isn't that mad? Someone come and help me. I need an intervention. God. All right, let's move on. What do you feel proudest of with the channel, and what's something you regret or would change? I had to have a little think about this, because I didn't want to just say something off the cuff, because it's a good question. And I've been doing YouTube for a long time, so it should have a lot of depth to it. And I think with the proudest side of things, there's a couple of things I was leaning towards. The first one was the people I've met and the friends I've made over doing YouTube, like through doing YouTube content and videos. the stuff I've done with Tom, the many people I've played and met from the JFS, Minecraft. That's been a side of YouTube that I just would never, ever have predicted when I first started. I just saw myself as a sad little man. Sad little, how old would I have been? 2011, 19? No. Oh my goodness, I think I was. Yeah, sad little 19-year-old boy in his room, talking to himself playing the Simpsons game. But I did meet people, and I've had great experiences with them. So that would have been one. But then I got a little bit more selfish as well. And well, that's already quite selfish, but I got more selfish because I could say about fostering a lovely community here on YouTube and Discord and Twitch and Twitter. And that's true. I do love the little community and the audience I have. I never take it for granted, believe me. But I'm not going to say that either. My selfish answer to this question, what's the proudest thing, is that I'm proud of the fact that I've got 12, 13 years of video and of me talking that I can go back to and listen and relive and reminisce on. And I've said this before, how particularly with things like my Minecraft series where it was very talky and I would just be having topics to talk about. But it really is, like, YouTube is basically my diary for the past 13 years. I can go back and, okay, it may not be the easiest thing. I might have to like dig around in a video, but I could probably go back and find something that would transport me back. I'd maybe say something, or, you know, in a live stream from 10 years ago, I'd say something and I'd be like, oh my God, yeah, I remember that. And I think that's because I'm quite a backwards looking person, which is probably a negative thing, to be honest. But I do find myself reminiscing a lot. I get caught up in nostalgia a lot. And I try not to, but I think it's just who I am. And I think having done YouTube is like one of the best ways of experiencing that now. So yeah, I love that I've got these videos that I can go back to, and they're all there, and they document my life in a way. It's through the form of video games for the most part, but I'm still there, and it's all still, you know, in between everything, underneath it all, is my life for the past 13 years, and I just think that's kind of cool. So yeah, on to the more negative side of things. What's something that I regret or would change? And I've always said that I don't regret the way I went into YouTube, chasing numbers and growth and views. I'm also very clear in the fact that that has 100% negatively affected my growth on YouTube, and I could be in a very different place if I maybe tried to play the game more back in the day, try to follow the trends, and the habits and the tactics of YouTube. But I don't regret that. I don't regret not doing that. Sorry. Yeah, I don't regret not doing too many double negatives. What I do regret is just doing more with the time I had. There was a period, you know, around 2014. Yeah, 2013 to 2015, 2016 even. But particularly 2014, I remember going back and looking at all the videos I've made in 2014, and it was a ton. I had so much time back then. It was when I was at uni. Uni work was not that stressful for the most part. And that's not just me being like, oh, I'm so smart. It just wasn't. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was just in a bad course. But hey, I got the degree all right. But yeah, it meant that I had a lot of free time. And I obviously filled that making Let's Plays and series and things. But I just feel like when I had that time, I wish I'd have tried more. Or like tried different things. Because I have all these ideas now for things I'd want to do. And I just don't have the time. Like, once you grow up a bit and you have more adult things to worry about. It's sad, but it's just the way it is. You have less time for things like hobbies and, in my case, making YouTube videos. So yeah, that's my regret. I wasn't really to know. Back then I felt like I was doing a ton, and I was, but maybe I was just misplacing my effort. Maybe I should have just, eased off on the sheer number of Let's Plays and maybe devoted some time to, I don't know, something else. Something else. And that could have maybe led down another path. But it's all hindsight. It's all Sound of Thunder, butterfly stuff, isn't it? If I'd have done that or not done that, then where would I be today? So, yeah. Dr. Pompidou's last question. Any chance of a Left 4 Dead 2? That series is one of my favourites you've done. Oh, Left 4 Dead. That is a series I played with Tom, Honest Tom, and we played it in co-op on Xbox, and yeah, that was a fun series. Probably more fun for me than Tom, because he had to actually play the game properly. I don't know what I did in that game. I got through it. I did something. Probably not very productive. So the honest answer to that is I don't really see another series like that on the horizon. I don't think Tom would either. I think he would probably say just as much as I would. The interest of doing a Let's Play type thing for that is just not there anymore. However, and in terms of this is part 1, 20 minutes long, end the episode. Okay, right. Hey, welcome back to episode 2 of Left 4 Dead 2. That's gone. I don't think we'd do that. Would we maybe just play some of it and then I can edit it into a video? Maybe. Maybe. That sounds a lot more likely and a lot more reasonable. A funny moments montage. I hate that. I hate that term. Funny moments. But just an edited one-off. Would he want to do that? I don't know. But that would be how I'd see it happening. I think Tom and I will probably do something in the future. We've obviously still got the Bond podcast, which we've said will come back when we hear something about Bond. Sometime soon, please, Barbara. But yeah, and we've talked about doing some live streams together, which is more on me not doing them and not getting back to Tom. But yeah, so there definitely will be something in the future with us two, but I don't know whether it would be a Left 4 Dead 2 full-blown playthrough. Okie dokie, right, I can feel that I'm starting to lose my voice, and I've still got so many questions to go. And this video seems like it's getting pretty long already. Let's move on, chop chop. The next question is from Clara, and the question is, as a question, I'm often wondering if it makes you sad or questioning your channel when the views on the Let's Play series are not so high as your other videos, for example, all the Simpsons related ones. Anyway, thank you for posting a channel update and a Q&A. Well, thank you for the question, Clara. It's something I touched on earlier, and it's a very good question. It's something I'm not blind to, and it doesn't make me sad, but questioning is a good way of phrasing it. Does it make me question my channel? Does it make me think, what should I prioritize? And the answer is yes, it does to an extent. I would be stupid not to think ooh, if I just do this video, this would get way more views than just spending 50 minutes playing more of Beyond a Still Sky. And that has crossed my mind. However, the fact that I am still making these point-and-click Let's Plays does kind of go to show that, no, it doesn't make me sad, and it's not really changing the way I'm making videos at the moment. I couldn't see myself just doing things that would get me views. Because, first of all, how do I know what that is, apart from Simpsons? And second of all, I think it would just cause me to burn out. You hear about YouTubers burning out all the time because they might be doing that exact thing, trying to chase the things that are getting them views, and then they just end up kind of saturating YouTube or themselves, and it becomes less fun. Although in that case, they're probably doing it for a living, so they kind of have to push through it or move over to Patreon or something. So yeah, I couldn't see myself just trying to chase views, because I think I would go a bit crazy, and I would lose enjoyment so much. Don't get me wrong, getting views and comments and likes on a video is a great feeling. I love it. I love it when Simpsons Hit Run Mod video gets a couple thousand views. I really loved it when my designing the dream sequel to Hit and Run video, that's on like 150k. I love that. I see that, I think, hell yeah. People obviously like that video, and YouTube picked it up and pushed it. But equally, I don't look at a Let's Play and only see 100 views and think, oh, that makes me sad, because I know that there are some people that are watching it and will like it. Even if it's just 2 or 3 people, I know there's some. And I enjoyed it. Like, I like playing those games. Like I said earlier about back in the day at university, forcing myself to go to the cinema with a radio show, doing Let's Plays is kind of the same thing for video games. It's forcing me to play a video game. Would I play all these point and clicks if I wasn't recording them? Probably not. Probably not. And I think that's because deep down, I'm not really much of a gamer. That is just the truth of it. I'm not. I love to play video games and record them, but I would say outside of YouTube, I play some games. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a gamer. Oh, that's kind of sad to say, isn't it? But it's true. It is true. So yeah, I feel like I'm rambling a lot with this question. Long story short, no, it doesn't make me sad. It has made me question in the past and still currently. Like, if you'll notice, I always try to sort of intersperse videos so that there's never too long of a gap between a Simpsons Hit and Run and mod and then some point and clicks, which is probably really bad for the algorithm. It probably hates that, because it's like loads and loads of views, no views, loads of views, no views, and it's like, oh, I don't know what to show people. But I do it because then it kind of shows, yeah, I'm still here. I'm still going to make the Simpsons stuff. I still like it. Don't go away. So that's the reason why I do that. And I would be lying if I didn't say that there are a few ideas I've got for videos that are related to the Simpsons Hit and Run, and I think would do pretty well on YouTube. Watch as I make them and they end up being complete duds. But I think they would do pretty well, audience-wise. So that is something that makes me want to make them, because I do think that they would be popular. So it's just about the balance, isn't it? It's just about the balance. If I was doing YouTube for a career, I couldn't. I just couldn't, because I'd have to change my complete mindset and become a sellout and start having NordVPN adverts. How do you feel about that? Could you picture me doing those? No. And neither could I. So yeah, it's just a balance. I will do things that I think will be popular, and I'll do things that I enjoy doing myself. Okay, let's move on. Good question though. Thank you for the question, Clara. Oh, look who's next. It's Honest Tom 23. I've got a couple of questions. First one is, how dare you? Second one is, who the hell do you think you are? Okay, my actual questions are, if you could get a new entry in a gaming series where the chances of a new game ever coming out seems very unlikely, which series would you pick? And also, as you asked me this question, how has YouTube changed during your time uploading videos, and how has it changed your approach to making videos? Those are my questions. My lawyers will be in touch as soon as they have their own questions they want to ask. Okay. Well, I will keep an ear out for that. But until then, all right, first question. New entry in a gaming series where a new game seems very unlikely. I've got a couple answers for this. One, I think, is the obvious one, and that is Time Splitters. Us Time Splitters fans, boy, have we been teased and screwed over multiple times now. We've had Time Splitters 4 being a legitimate thing, being made by Free Radical way back in the day. Then they made that Pays game. That went pear-shaped, and then they shut down. Then we had Time Splitters Rewind, which was the unofficial fan-made mixture of games. So it's going to take bits from all three, Time Splitters 1, 2, and Future Perfect, and make them into a sort of online multiplayer thing. That had the blessing from Crytek, who I think held the license for Time Splitters at the time. That has been in development for over 10 years, I think, and I don't really believe we'll see the light of day. It's just gone through so many changes because it is just a team of volunteers and things keep going wrong. So that was teased, has not come out. Then we actually had an official Time Splitters was being worked on by the original team, or at least some people from the original team. Who was the publisher? I can't remember the publisher's name, but that was confirmed and has since been cancelled. So it's not been easy. Time Splitters would be a game that I think is just so easy for them. I could see it coming out now. I really could. But then equally, I did actually think about this. Would I really be interested in a new Time Splitters game? Would I actually play it? Because it would be some sort of online shoot 'em for the most part. I'd hope that it had a storyline and a story mode, but the main fun part of Time Splitters is the matchmaking, right? And the arcade. So I don't know. I don't play Overwatch. I don't play games like that, Fortnite. So would I play Time Splitters? Is it just all tied up with nostalgia? And that's the only reason I'm thinking about it anymore? Probably. I do legitimately think the storyline and the story missions were really fun. So if they had that, I would like it. But it's not going to happen anyway, is it? So who cares? I did have another answer for this question, though, and that was, I think this one's actually a better answer for your question as well. An unlikely new entry into an old gaming series? The movies. I would love to see a movies sequel. For any of you that don't know, the movies was a game published back in 2000 and... Ooh, when was it? 2007, maybe? By Lionhead Studios, and it was a film-making sim game. And, you know, you had the filming lot, and you could hire your actors and your cast and your crew, and then you build the sets, and then you would actually film the films, and it would become a sort of a video editor, and you can put the scenes in, replace the actors, add special effects, add titles, and it was great. I was obsessed with this game back in the day. So much so that was actually the reason, that game was the reason I got my first ever computer, was because it was originally meant to be ported to the PlayStation 2. And I remember seeing it in a PlayStation 2 magazine, right near the back. And there was a page about, it's coming to the PS2 in quarter 1, 2008, or something like that. The dates could be way off, but you know, along those lines. And I was just like, I could not believe it. I could not believe it because I'd seen the game before, but I didn't have a computer good enough to play it. So, I was excited. And then it got cancelled, and I was so distraught. I just remember thinking like, but it was in a magazine. They can't do that. It was printed. It has to happen now. They can't do this. Anyway, I eventually begged my mum to get a new computer, which we did. I think we had to get it on finance because you know we were not a very well-off family. So that's the only way that my mum could afford it, is if like she paid it off in installments. Oh bless. But no, I did get it, and I did get the movies on PC, and I loved it. And I used to have friends come over, and we'd make videos with the actors being our school teachers because we were weird. Anyway, I would love a sequel to that. I know that there is actually a game that's come out recently that is basically a clone of it, but it doesn't look as good. It doesn't have that It's that Lionhead charm to it that it had. You know, Lionhead with Fable. There was just this certain thing, this little je ne sais quoi, which this modern one just doesn't have. So if they could do it again, I would be very happy. Very happy indeed. Okay, next up with Tom's second question. How has YouTube, which was my question, how has YouTube changed during your time uploading videos, and how has it changed your approach to making videos? Okay, so I won't try and repeat myself too much with the stuff I mentioned earlier about how YouTube content has changed, because I think it has. It has definitely gone into more long form, and that has reflected in my own content, for sure. Gone are the days of 20, 25-minute videos, as part of a series, that is. You're not, artificially breaking a video to be like, right, we're going to stop here. See you in part 2. It's like, no. No one's buying that anymore. Come on. Come on. Which is why I generally try to make videos around an hour, at least, if it's a Let's Play. You could argue that the Let's Play should just be one giant chunk of like a 6-hour video. And people would still watch them. But no, I can't quite do that. So yeah, at least an hour-ish is now my go-to. But also, I think YouTube has changed in the sense of, yeah, like Let's Plays are not really a thing anymore, and I'm clinging on. Oh, well, clinging on? I ditched it and I came back. I'm like that X come crawling back. No, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. So yeah, I mean, yeah, clinging on, gone back to it because I still enjoy it. I do still enjoy it. But in every other way, YouTube has moved on drastically. There's ways of kind of looking at it in terms of, hook and tail content. If you want to get more sort of businessy sounding, tail content being Let's Plays, really not the things that the algorithm and that YouTube really pushes anymore. Hook content being the thing to go for, the clickbaity stuff, in all honesty. It doesn't have to be clickbaity, though. That's unfair to say. But that's the kind of stuff where now I try and throw in more of that than I ever would have in the past. So some of you may have noticed I've done videos more recently, like trying to get every card in Virtual Springfield, or trying to beat Rugrats in Munchinland. It's those sort of the hook, like, ooh, can I beat it? Will I do this? Will I do X, Y, Z? Will I beat the Simpsons Hit and Run not touching any cars, which I stole from Tom? That's the sort of content that I think has a place on YouTube more nowadays, but I wouldn't like to just do that because that sounds stressful. And I've said in the past how I like to have a presence on YouTube. I just like to always have something going, and I think if I try to just limit myself to those hook style videos, the gaps between videos would be too long. It would be months before you heard from me again. It really would. And some of you may like that, but no, I like the regular content, regular being fairly regular anyway, which is where the Let's Plays come in and stuff like that, and the live streams when I did them, and so on and so forth. So that's really how it's changed for me. I would also say, and I don't want to get too negative here, but I can't help but comment on the fact that I think YouTube over time has become worse. I really do. Both in terms of, I want to say the community side of it, but I don't know if that's the right word. Sometimes I feel like YouTube has got incredibly small. Does anyone else ever feel that way? I think it might just be the way that it shows me content now, and just how much it repeats and it throws videos at you. Like, hey, look at this, look at this, look at this. You're gonna watch this. Please watch this, please, please, please. No, I'm gonna put it back on your home screen. I'm gonna put it in your search results. I'm not gonna show you what you searched for. No, here's this instead. And I hate that. I hate searches now. But I think that effect makes YouTube feel really small. and that there's just not as many people doing as many things anymore, which is obviously not true. YouTube is probably bigger than ever. It's probably just ever growing, right? I know that there was this phase recently of like big long-standing YouTubers saying, "I'm out. I'm retiring. I'm taking a break. I'm gone for good." Fair play to them, but that's not the majority. There's still, for every one people like that, there's like 10 more people that are becoming the big YouTubers and staying around. So why is it the case that to me YouTube just feels so small? Does anyone else feel like that? Why do you think that is? Is it because of the algorithm? Is it because I'm just not? I mean, I do watch a lot of YouTube, but I just watch the same people. I don't know. All I do know is that I'm happy with the little routine I've got at the moment. I don't see myself changing that anytime soon. But God knows how YouTube is going to change around me. Anyway, that was a long ramble about that, but thank you for the questions, Tom. I will wait to hear from your lawyers. Hopefully you've got a blue-haired one. Right, next up we have a question from Stumpy. I definitely enjoy any and all Minecraft content. Your JFS Season 3 got me through COVID. Oh, that's nice to know. Not COVID, because no one wants to think about that anymore, but I'm glad my videos helped. My Q&A question is this. What is your favourite JFS minigame that you've played? Oh boy, there's been so many minigames over the years. Yeah, we've built a lot of minigames on the servers, on the maps, and mixture of things. Parkour, kind of like physical things in the game. PvP. But I think I did have a little think about this. And golf as well. Oh, golf's a very good one. Could I say my own golf course that I made with Nayxerr, Statue Golf? Because that was a labour of love, and we worked through gritted teeth to get that finished in time for the end of Season 4. And it ended up just being one giant mess of a group playing it with everyone talking at the same time and no one really understanding what was going on. But that was still a highlight. I think I'm actually going to say, though, favourite JFS minigame is going to be in the category of quiz shows, which we used to make a lot of quiz shows. I've made a ton of quiz shows, and particularly in Season 3 was like the height of the quiz show era on the JFS. And Dennis Flux made Jeopardy, or Jeff Puddy, or Jeopardy. And yeah, we just made our own rounds of Jeopardy, and they always ended. The reason why I'm laughing is that I don't know why I'm picking this as my favourite, because they always ended in someone being salty. Like it would either be someone disagreeing with an answer, or just, you know, feeling stupid about not getting a question, or maybe like a sort of language issue because there's people from all over the world on JFS, and there would be some sort of argument at the end. And I think I look back and I just laugh at it now because it's so stupid. Imagine getting angry at a Jeopardy game in Minecraft. Oh, but I do look back on them with fondness. I do. I think there's some really funny moments from them, and hey, I like a good quiz. I like making them, and I like being in them. So I'll go with Jeopardy, or Jeffenheimer's, which was Asus's one. That was also good. Or Hole in the Tooth. That was my one. Also good. Yeah. Good times, good memories. Thank you for the question, Stumpy. Next up, we have a question from Owl of Nevermore. Hello, Owl. For my question, out of all of the games you have either made a Let's Play of or live streamed, which one had the biggest impact on you? Impact can be interpreted in any way, like remembered most, had an emotional journey that resonated with you the most, whatever you want to make it. Ooh, I like this question. And I have got an answer. It's going to be a pretty obvious and maybe boring answer. I've also got a sort of non-answer that I'll give afterwards. My proper answer, I'm reading Impact not so much as emotional, although there is emotion tied to it. I'm doing it as more of a impact on my life. Does that make sense? It's affected my life more than I would have ever thought of. And drum roll, yes, it's Minecraft, of course. A game I've been playing for 14 years now. And I have technically Let's Played, FTB, JFS, live streamed it many, many times. And it's had the biggest impact because of what I was saying earlier, about four hours ago now, whenever that was. I've met people through it. I have made friends for life, hopefully, through Minecraft. I hope to stay in touch with people that I've met through the JFS server in some way or another. I've met them. I've met some of them get married. I've been in the same bed with some of them. Okay, let's not go there. I actually have, though. Not in a sexual way, please. So it's got to be Minecraft. In fact, what I'm going to do is, there was a video that Max made. Max Mawkins, fellow JFSer, he made a kind of parody video of Taskmaster called Task Crafter a few years back. And in it, one of the rounds, I was in it as one of the contestants, he asked a question of like, what was your most interesting item or something. And I gave him a book where I basically said everything I just said in a nicer, more poetic way. I will put that somewhere because I think it was a very nice message I put. And it really does kind of portray that message in a nice way. What I'm trying to say badly right now. Okay? So, yeah, that. Minecraft. But for another answer that's not a Let's Play, although I actually... no, wait, I did live stream it. This is still an answer. I only live streamed it a few times, did not complete it on a live stream, but biggest impact on me is a game called Outer Wilds. And I've talked about this a couple times in the past, but please, 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 if you haven't played Outer Wilds, not Outer Worlds, don't think I'm talking about that Starfield type game, although it came out before Starfield. Not the RPG. Outer Wilds, okay? It is, without a doubt, one of the most impactful games. And that is definitely more emotionally. And just existentially, I guess. I really don't want to talk too much about it in case you haven't played it. But for those of you that have, you'll know what I mean by that. The story in it and the way you discover the story and the learning cycles that you have to learn, the way you unlock the story in that game is like nothing I've ever played in any other game. Kind of similar to a point and click in some ways, but also completely different. And I'd never experienced anything like that in a video game. I don't really think I will. Pretty much a perfect game. Pretty much a perfect game. Definitely had a huge impact on me. So I probably cried at the end. I can't remember. The music's so good as well. Oh, yeah. Outer Wilds, fantastic game. Thank you for the questions, Owl. Okay, we're getting towards the end. Yes, I can do this in one sitting. Hallelujah. Okay, next up is a question from Sim61642. Their question is, what is your favourite album? Oh, this is a nice, easy one. Although, is it? It's actually kind of not. I say that because, am I a saddo? Yes. Yes, I am. Because I don't really listen to music. If someone says to me, who's your favourite band, who's your favourite singer, I don't really know. Is it weird that I don't really listen to music? Is there anyone else out there that doesn't really listen to music? Now, I do know music. I can sing a lot of songs. I can recognise a lot of songs. Mainly just through osmosis though, right? And I would listen to lots of one-off songs. But I wouldn't say I'm like a dedicated audiophile. And I don't know why that is. I really don't. There's music genres that I like more than others. Rock. Well, yeah, no, more than that as well though. More than just rock, but that's just the one off the top of my head. But yeah, I wouldn't say there's one dedicated musician that I could really name as like, that is my favourite singer and therefore that is my favourite album. I have got an answer though, because this is actually, funnily enough, it's kind of tied back to video games. I was calling myself not a gamer earlier. I remember when I first got my Xbox 360, I've told this story before, so sorry to any of you that have heard this before. When I first got my Xbox 360 and I was discovering all the things it could do over my PlayStation 2, my dusty old PlayStation 2, I got this new console, shiny, brand new. Oh, I can play Halo 3. Oh, it's got a dashboard. Oh my god, I can connect to the internet, I can look at my friends, I can do this, that and the other. Oh, and I can also put in music discs and rip the music to the hard drive and listen to music as I play a game. And that just blew my mind back in 2008. So I did that, but the first album that I did that with was actually a band that I would actually say is probably my mum's favourite band. But because I heard it so much when I was younger, I guess I just, again, through osmosis, I came to really like it. And because she'd always play it, you know, on the CDs. So that album that I ripped to my Xbox was by Kings of Leon. You may know that band. They are pretty big. Probably heard of songs like Sex on Fire and things like that. And it was the album Because of the Times, which I think came out in around 2008. Yeah, well, it would have been then when I had the Xbox 360. So I ripped that, and because I was just so obsessed with this functionality, I remember playing Halo 3 so much with that album pretty much on loop in the background. All the hours playing Forge with my friends, making maps, that would be in the background. And I've actually, I made a video probably about 12 years ago now where I went back and looked through my old Xbox Halo 3 maps, custom maps that I made with those friends. God, the crazy thing is that the gap between now and that video is longer than that video and when I did it on Xbox. Ooh, I don't like that. But yeah, so that just sort of became ingrained in my head, those songs. So yeah, Kings of Leon, Because of the Times, is going to be my favourite album. It just has a lot of meaning to me and a lot of nostalgia and attachment. Okie dokie, I really am starting to lose my voice now. That's no good, but we will power on through. The next question is from Super LB. Have you ever played a Soulbourne? Would you ever play them? And what film have you seen recently you would recommend, either in cinema or not? Have I ever played a Soulbourne game? The answer is yes. I've played Elden Ring. I streamed it a couple times on Twitch and it's on my second channel, more Muckluck, if you really wanted to see it. However, I'm not the biggest fan of that genre of games. This is going to be a terrible. Do you know that meme where it's like, what opinion would make this you? And it's like the person with loads of swords around their neck. That's me right now, because I'm just going to say this. I really dislike that genre of games. I really don't like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, the games that are like those games now. I just don't get it. I don't get those games. I watch Limmy, Scottish streamer on Twitch, quite a lot. And a few months back, he did. Well, he's played a lot of those games. He's played Elden Ring, and he's played. I think he was playing Dark Souls 2 not too long ago, and I was trying to watch it, and I just hated it. I honestly, it just seemed like the most repetitive, boring, frustrating game ever. And I know that's clearly not a popular opinion because they are really popular games. I just do not mesh with them at all. I really don't. So yeah, I did try and play Elden Ring, and I didn't hate it. I kind of enjoyed the novelty of trying it because I knew that I was not going to properly play it. So I made Pam in Elden Ring, and I fought a big crab. I remember that stupid big crab. But that was it. And I have no inclination to ever go back to that sort of game. So yeah, that's the honest truth there. And the next question, what film have I seen recently that I'd recommend, either in cinema or not? Well, I haven't really been to the cinema on too many occasions. The most recent thing I saw in the cinema was Inside Out 2. And would I recommend it? Yeah. It was good. It was good. I didn't love Inside Out 1. I thought it was fun, and I thought it was quirky. But yeah, definitely not up there as like favourite Pixar films. So Inside Out 2, I mainly went to go see it because I had a free ticket left. I don't know, apart from that, what film? Not in a cinema? I don't think I do. This is what I mean. I don't really watch. I watch Monk and I watch Star Trek TNG, and that's it. And then I watch YouTube cruise vlogs. I'm a sad, sad man. I really am. But thank you for the question anyway. Next up is a question from Ghostbusters Guy 1989. I can't help but think that the hub world in the Simpsons Game PS3 is unfinished, as there's bridges that would probably go down as you progress to leather levels such as level 3, Lisa the Tree Hugger, and level 8, Shadow of the Colossal Donut. This will also make sense about the number of cars around the world and why there are different buildings which should be in different areas of the map, and the amount of maps that come and goes when you change characters. The level of Day of the Dolphin as part of the map where you can only go into that level. I feel that the different places of the open world were meant for the player to complete the level, and then after the levels they would open up in the open world. I agree. Thank you for the question. Next up is a question from Red Star J. Hello, Red Star. Hope I'm not too late. No. If technology was perfected, would you upload your brain to a simulation? What kind of simulation? Fantasy, magical, sci-fi, Wild West, superheroes, alternate reality, regular world, etc.? And would you want to be in the same simulation as friends and family, or with strangers on your own? Whew. Red Star, I can tell that you write. I can tell that you're a writer. I'm sure you've thought about this a lot. And for me, it's an interesting question. I've said that for a lot of them, but this one is. I think I'd have to have a bit of clarification. Would I upload my brain? Is this like I'm about to die? You know, I'm on my cruise, and I'm an old man, and there's a bit too much of a swell in the sea, and I fall over, and I hit my head, and that's the end of old Joe, as he's on the Lido deck next to the pool with his frozen strawberry daiquiri. If it is, but they have the tech now to be like, right, quickly take his brain, we're going to put it in this machine. Absolutely. I would take that in a heartbeat, even though I'd be dead. Because I think, why wouldn't you? Like, why wouldn't you carry on living in a simulation world? Would you know it's a simulation? That's another question as well. I guess if it's fantasy and magical and stuff, probably. But if it's just a normal world again, but a simulation, you know, Matrix style, then yeah, I don't know. But I wouldn't do that anymore. I wouldn't do regular. It has to be something fun, doesn't it? I think it would have to be some sort of future world, Futurama, you know. I'd want to see. I wouldn't want to go to like fantasy or anything old-timey, Wild West or whatever, but forwards. I'd like to see what's in the future to come. Mainly Futurama. If I could go transport in those tubes and watch some Hypnotoad, I'll be a happy simulation. And would it be with family or friends or strangers? Definitely family and friends. Come on, I don't want to be alone in my simulation. No, I don't want to have to meet new people again and have to do all the small talk. God, no. Give me my family and friends, please. Good question, though. Thank you, Red Star. Next up, we have a question. I believe this was on Twitter now, from Zanfi. And the question is, Jumble, Cashback and I, found you through your Monkey Island playthroughs. We wanted a way to catch up when the last one was announced. We played them all the year before. My question is, have you played Myst? Also, you should play Myst. P.S. Hope life is being kinder to you. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I should play Myst. You're right. And you know what? I could, because I have got so many versions of Myst in all of my various video game libraries. Steam, GOG, Epic, whatever, Amazon. I must have, I think I bought a Humble Bundle as well of them. So I've got maybe like 11 versions of Myst and its sequels, like, is it Riven? One of them's called. I've got them all. I've even got a copy of it on PlayStation 2, for goodness sake. And I have obviously never played it yet. I will. It's one of those classic. Yeah, it's a point and click, isn't it? I was like, is it a point and click? It is a point and click. It's one of those classic point and click games that I feel like I need to play. Kind of like how I felt with Monkey Island and Broken Sword and, I don't know, Indiana Jones and Day of the Tentacle and Maniac Mansion. Myst is another one. And I mean, for goodness sake, it's referenced in The Simpsons. That's how I actually learned that, is when I was making the Simpsons Hit Run Mod with Homer in the 3D world. And the library in that is based on the library in Myst. And when I discovered that, I was like, wow, I really do need to play Myst then. So yes, absolutely, I will be playing it. It'll probably go in that pattern of, I've said before, like, I'm trying to go to sort of back and forth between an older Let's Play game and a newer Let's Play game. Just because if I play too many old point and clicks, I think it can get a little bit frustrating. Because let's be honest, some of them are kind of clunky to play. Or frustrating. They don't have the quality of life that new games have. So if I play like back-to-back old games, I just think that might drag me down a bit. So that's why I try and intersperse it with newer ones that are nice and, yeah, you know, you can skip to rooms quickly and you can save easily and you can have a hint system in it and it's all lovely and peachy. So now I'm currently playing Beyond a Still Sky, then we're going to go back to an older one and then a newer one and then an older one. So it'll be somewhere in there, but I will 100% play Myst at some point in the future. Alrighty, then we're down to the last 4 questions. Here we go. The next one, which is now, all the rest of these are now from my Discord. Go and join my Discord. I know we're like an hour and a half into this video, but go and join it. It's from Mandycat, and their question is, if you could have a superpower, what would it be and why? A classic Q&A question, one that I've probably answered in the past. Not to complain, but I just probably have, so I'm probably going to say something completely different to what I would have said then. Or maybe it's the same. I don't know, I can't remember. But my answer for now would be, it's pretty boring in the grand scheme of things, but you just can't beat invisibility. I would love to go invisible. I just think of the things you could do, the places you could sneak into, the things you could steal, the crimes you could get away with. It would be great. And hey, even if I was discovered, surely I can make a lot of money from being the invisible man. So, I don't know. I feel like there's pros either side. That being said, I don't watch things like The Boys, right? Are there any interesting superpowers on that show? Because I feel like that's weird. So that might have some weird ones. I know was it Suicide Squad, they had that guy that like puked up polka dots? Not that. I don't want that. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you for the question, Mandycat. Next one is from Jezebel. Q&A question. What is my go-to sweet? I say as I'm currently eating a Toblerone. And then what is your go-to comfort movie? Okay, my go-to sweet. I had to think about this because I do have a sweet tooth. But recently, my go-to sweet thing has been strawberries and cream, because I am absolutely a sucker for strawberries and cream. And in the UK, in Lidl, supermarket Lidl, they had big 1 kilogram punnets of strawberries, local strawberries, for £3.29, and that was an offer I could not refuse. So I bought so many of those punnets over the last month or two, got myself some double cream. Oh my goodness. Indulgence, pure indulgence. I loved it. But in terms of chocolate, which I assume is what you're actually asking because of the Toblerone, I would say I've got a couple favourite chocolate bars that I'd probably go to in a shop. First one, crunchy. I love a crunchy. Honeycomb, chocolate, you can't go wrong. I love it when it's like, and it's a thick, I know there's like shrinkflation and everything now, but it's a thick layer on crunches. I've always thought that. At least it used to be. and then you let it melt in your mouth for a bit, and then the honeycomb starts to like melt a little bit and get a little bit soft, and oh my god, it's great. It's a party in the mouth. But my second choice would be probably a double-decker. And I can't even really tell you what that is now. Is it like nugget and then Rice Krispie things and chocolate and caramel? Whatever it is, that's a winning formula. I love a double-decker. I love the dinky deckers that they now have in Celebrations. Or is it Celebrations? What's the other one? Heroes? Cadbury's Heroes? Yeah. Crunchy, double-decker. I'd be happy with either of those. And then my go-to comfort movie. At first I was worried about this question because I thought, oh god, I'm going to have to think of my favourite film. Oh no, I can never do that. But I thought about it some more, and actually comfort movie, I don't think comfort movie necessarily means your favourite movie. It probably does, but I'm going to say that my comfort movie is, well, under the umbrella of just James Bond. Probably any James Bond film would be a comfort movie to me. Actually, Spectre's not very comforting, and No Time to Die is definitely not comforting. Okay, nearly all the James Bonds are comfort movies, but if I was to name one, which I kind of have to, I think, my go-to comfort movie with James Bond is going to be... Oh god, I've just said that, and now my brain literally just split into two as I said that. Into two possible options. Number one, Tomorrow Never Dies. And number two, Moonraker? Why am I saying Moonraker? I just am. I was gonna say The Spy Who Loved Me, but no, I think it's... Listen, it just came out. I have to trust my gut. Moonraker. It's weird. It's wacky. It's all over the place. It's bad in a lot of parts. But my god, is it a comfort film? Okay. Yeah. There you go. Those two. All right, next question. Thank you for the questions, Jezebel. Next question is from Max Marvel. Hey, Banana Boy. Hello. First of all, sorry to hear you lost your job. I wish you luck in a search for a new career. Thank you. Good news is, I got one. Woohoo. Second, which Let's Play series do you wish to go back and start over to improve a quality and a better Let's Play? Like how you did with the original Destroy Humans 2. Better not be I bet it's not Star Wars The Force Unleashed, wink wink, nudge nudge. No, it is not, you are correct. I think I kind of maybe answered this earlier with the whole Let's Replay thing, but it would be Indiana Jones. Yeah, it would be. It's of that time period, very, very early on when I started making YouTube videos. It's of that time when I was still very rough around the edges, or rougher around the edges, and I could probably do a way better job with capturing the game itself, capturing the audio, kind of pacing the videos, editing them, cutting out fluff. I haven't actually went back and watched those videos, but I bet you, I could listen. I might surprise myself here, but I would hazard a guess that I did not cut out any bits where I had to travel for ages, right? You know, like, oh, I just need to go back to this section now, and that takes me like 30 seconds. Did I include that 30 seconds in the video? I probably did, and I wouldn't do that now. Now I'm like, oof, we can get rid of that. That's 10 seconds, we're getting rid of it. Because it's pointless, right? It's pointless. So I'd like to go back and do stuff like that, just clean it up. And like I said earlier, play a different path, because it's got different options for ways to go at a certain point in the game. So, yep, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis would be my answer. Thank you for the question, Max, and for the kind words. And as my voice is on the verge of collapsing, we have reached the final question, which is from Eddie Joe. And their question is, I'm sure it's going to be a nice, simple one. I enjoyed your new hit and run video, Muckluck. Also a question, what is your favourite Simpsons episode of all time, if you have one? Oh no. I always enjoy hearing the iconic hello and welcome back to the Simpsons Hit and Run and Mod. I didn't really do that justice there, did I? Because I'm losing my voice. Wait a minute. Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Simpsons Hit and Run and Mod. There you go. Right. I knew this question was going to come up. I knew it. Oh, favourite Simpsons episode of all time, if I have one. I'm gonna stop sighing and I'm gonna cut to the chase. I don't have one because I can't have one. I know Tom had the same question in his video, and he wisely went through all the episodes he thought was applicable and just pick out ones that stood out to him. And he ended up with 10. And I don't have the time for that, so I'm not going to do that. So I can't legitimately answer it. And I'm also sad that I can't answer it, because the truth is, and I've said this before, I am in desperate need of rewatching The Simpsons. I honestly have not watched it in so long, the classic episodes, and I feel like my knowledge is draining, and I can't let that go. It's the only thing I have is my Simpsons knowledge. So a while back I said I was going to start rewatching them all and ranking them. Or sorry, not ranking them, rating them. And I haven't even got around to doing that. That was like 3 months ago I said that, and I haven't even started. So yeah, I need to go through and rewatch them for sure. But to give you just the vaguest outline of an answer, my favourite episodes, I was thinking about this, at this point in time when I can't truly answer it, what could be my favourite episodes? How could I measure that? And it's probably episodes that I quote a lot, right? If there's a quote that I say a lot in just everyday life, it's probably from an episode that I really liked and really stood out to me and was memorable. So I think about some of the quotes I say, some of the things that, you know, just pop into my head as far as Simpsons references go. And these were literally just a handful. There are so many more than these, but I just Googled a few and just thought of some. So King Size Homer is a big one, where he gets really fat. There's so many moments from that episode. Homer the Vigilante. I actually watched that episode today. My God, is that a good episode? So many moments from that. Blood Feud. Hello, my name is Mr. Burr. Yeah, that's one. Lisa the... Do you know what? I knew this was the title, but I'd actually realised I never said this title out loud because I didn't know how to say this. Lisa the Iconoclast. There you go. That's the one with Jebediah Springfield. 1, where's the 5? 2, give me the 5. And then Treehouse of Horror 3 I put on here, which is the zombie one. Dad, you killed Zombie Flanders. He was a zombie. See, those sort of quotes, right? And there's so many more than that, but those are just literally more or less off the top of my head. However, what I can 100% confirm is that my favourite episodes will be between seasons 1 and 10. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. I'm not going to vouch for any of these newer episodes, as good as they may be. I don't care. There's too many good ones to even bother looking at the 2,000 other episodes that they now have. So yeah, at some point in the future I can give you a proper answer for that, because I'll have a nice spreadsheet where I've rated them all. But for now, that's the best it's going to be. I'm sorry. Oh, and with that, I have reached the end of the questions. Oh boy, you know what? I had a beer next to me the whole time, and I barely drank it. That's why my voice is gone, and the beer is now warm. So that's good. Well done, me. But no, this has been really fun. This has been really fun. I hope if you have stuck this on in the background, treated it as a podcast, I hope you've enjoyed it. God knows what I'm going to put as footage for this video. I have to think of something to put in the background. I don't know what. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Kind of took me back to doing these back in the day, talking and rambling about all sorts of stuff. If you enjoyed it, I don't know, maybe I'll do another one of these in the future. Maybe, you know, not too regularly, but every now and then might be fun, I think. Right, I think it's time I head off and go drink a large glass of water and finish this lovely warm beer. Once again, thank you everyone for asking a question, and if you did listening to this video, there'll be another one at some point in the future, but until then, take care, bye bye.